Good morning, my dear students. Today we are discussing about the antigen and antibody reactions. So, what is the antigen antibody reactions? What is the importance of the antigen antibody reactions? So, which type of antigen antibody reactions are presented in our body? Now we discuss. First of all, what is the definition of the antigen antibody reaction? So, the combination of the antigen and antibody, the combination of antigen and antibody reactions are the antigen and antibodies give rise to the observable reaction. It gives the observable reactions. Observable reactions is known as the antigen antibody reaction. The antigen antibodies, the antibodies are mediated immunity in the body. It is the mediated immunity in the body. Mediated immunity in the body. And then next one, antigen antibodies, both are the, it gives the good protection from the microorganism, and it is against activity of the microorganism, and as well as the antigen antibody reactions are involved in the determination of the different types of diseases also with the using of the antigen antibody reactions. So the antigen antibody reactions are the is classified into, it is mainly classified into two types. Mainly classified into two types. One is in vitro, and the second one is the in vivo. In vitro and in vivo. What is the in vitro and what is the in vivo? So simply the antigen antibody reactions are that carried out in the laboratory. The antigen and antibody reactions are carried out in the laboratory. So these reactions is occur in the lab is known as the in vitro antigen antibody reactions. It is also known as a serological reactions. Serological reactions. It is also known as a serological reactions. And what about them? What about the in vivo? In vivo means the antigen antibody reactions are which takes place in the body. It is the takes place in the living organism or body. So these reactions occur in the body is known as the in vivo. These reactions is outside of the body or lab is known as the in vitro. In vitro. So what is the importance of the in vitro? Importance. It is the diagnosis of the diseases, infectious diseases, and the next one, identification of the agents, disease causing agents, identification of the causing agents, and the next one, infectious agent, non-infectious agents also diagnosis by the in vitro. And what about the in vivo importance? So in vivo importance, it is play a key role in the antibody mediated immunity against the infectious disease. So it is the play a key role in the antibody mediated immunity against infectious diseases, or infectious diseases, or the next one, tissue injury, and in the hypersensitivity and autoimmune diseases is known as the in vivo. This is the in vitro. That is the main difference between in vivo and in vitro. So in vivo and in vitro is the different types of reactions are there. So as per our syllabus, so now we discuss about the some antigen antibody reactions we will discuss. So first one is the types of antigen antibody reactions. So number one is precipitation, or and precipitation and flocculation. First one is the precipitation and flocculation reaction. So precipitation and flocculation reaction. What is the precipitation and flocculation reaction? So in here, when a suitable antigen combined with the antibody, a suitable antigen combined with the antibody present in the presence of NaCl, in the presence of NaCl. So here the suitable temperature means 37 degrees Celsius, and it maintain the pH range is the 7.4 pH. Here the 7.4 pH at the 37 degrees Celsius in the presence of NaCl, the antigen bind with the antibody to form the one complex is formation, that is the antigen antibody complexes formation, antigen antibody complexes formation. So it one is the insoluble in the antigen antibody complex is the insoluble in the water, insoluble in the water. So is known as the precipitation. So suitable antigen antibody combined with form the antigen antibody complex in the presence of NaCl, maintain the suitable temperature and pH. This complex is the insoluble in the water, is known as the precipitation, is known as the precipitation. In here, write the star mark points here. What are they? So antigen taking part of the precipitation in it is the formation, the insoluble in the water, is known as the PPT. Finally produce the PPT. So precipitation, the antigen taking part in the precipitation. So antigen is presented in the PPT is known as precipitogen. Is known as precipitinogen. And the next one, the antibody is known as a precipitin. In case of antibody presented in the precipitate, is known as the precipitin. Is known as the precipitin. So the PPT containing the antigen is known as a precipitinogen, or PPT containing the antibody is known as the precipitin. That is the main difference between these two words. And the next one, the precipitation reaction can take place in the liquid or gel. The PPT reaction takes place in a liquid or gel. Liquid or gel. Which type of liquid and gel? Means sugar liquid. The next one, agar, agarose, and polychromide. Polyacrylamide. So these are the example for the precipitations occurs in this pot. So this is about the precipitation. And what is the flocculation? So what is the flocculation? So flocculation means the precipitation it is a precipitation reaction. Here insoluble antigen antibody complex remains suspended in the form of the floccules in the sedimentation. So simply sedimentation means any salty particles, any precipitated particles placed at the bottom of the container is known as the flocculation. So insoluble antigen and antibody complex, this antigen and antibody complex remains suspended in the form of floccules instead of the sedimentation. Simply the insoluble particle, which one insoluble particle, antigen and antibody complexes are presented in the given liquid medium at the bottom of the container. It look like a flocule. Flux means insoluble substances, is known as the flocculation. So in here, insoluble flocculation in this process. So we'll discuss about them diagrammatic representation, that is the zone phenomena. Zone phenomena. So what is the zone phenomenon? So in the zone phenomenon, it containing the totally three zones are there: prozone, zone of equivalence, and post zone. So we'll take the one test tube. Here one more test tube. So these are the two test tubes. So in here two test tubes. This is called as prozone. What is the prozone? So first of all, the amount of precipitation formed depends upon the relative proportions of the antigen and antibody take that part of the reaction. So the precipitation is a formation. Precipitation is formation depends upon the antigen and antibody reactions. Depends upon the antigen and antibody reactions. So in here, what is the prozone? So absence of the precipitation in the presence of the excess antibodies indicates the false negative condition is known as the prozone phenomena. In condition, sera should diluted get the correct result. The amount of precipitation different tubes are the plotted resulting how the three different phases are occur in here. So one is the prozone, and the next one is the post zone and equivalent zone. Three zones are there. So if the prozone is the excess or the prozone is the precipitation will be minimal or absent of the some uncombined antibodies are presented here. Uncombined antibodies are presented here means presence of the precipitation here. In the presence of precipitation in this here presence of these are all are the precipitates the black colors and red colors indicated the precipitates. So the presence of the precipitation in the presence of precipitation here precipitation in the presence of the excess antibodies excess antibodies indicates the false negative condition is known as the prozone phenomena. So excess, these are the excess condition is known as a prozone. Excess is known as the prozone. And the next one, what is the zone of equivalence? Means here also take them. Three test tubes. Take the three test tubes. In the three test tubes, just compare these the one and other test tubes. So in here he indicates the increases the number of red cells. Increases the number of red cells from first test tube to fifth test tube. So equivalence, when increasing the quantity of the antigens or added the fixed amount of the antiserum takes series in the test tube, the precipitation occur rapidly and abundantly. One middle tube is antigen, and antibody is the optimum portion is known as a zone of equivalence. So in three test tubes, in here the black color indicates the antibodies, the red color indicates the antigens. Okay, so in here the number of black color means antibodies are higher in amount, and the antigens are the lower in amount. Here antibodies are the lower in amount, antigens are higher in amount. But in middle test tube, so this is the equivalency, zone of equivalency. equivalency, zone of equivalency. In middle tube, these antigens are equal to the antibodies. Antigens are equal to the antibodies is known as the zone of equivalence. So, in here, the zone of equivalence is the antigen antibody completely precipitate. So, in the zone of equivalency, the total antigen and antibodies are completely formation the precipitate. Here there is no chance for the formation precipitate. Here formation start the precipitation in here. Uncombined antibodies are presented here. Number of 1 2 3 4 5 just 5 antigens are presented. 1 2 3 4 5 number of antibodies are presented. So in here uncombined antibodies are presented here. Here there is no chance for the uncombined antibodies and antigens are presented in the given reaction is known as a zone of equivalence. And the next one we'll discuss about the post zone. So here also take the two test tubes. So in the two test tubes, so in two test tubes, less amount of the antibodies antibodies are presented here. More amount of the antigens are presented here. In complete in this test tube, only antigens are presented. Means exactly quite opposite of the pre-zone and post-zones are the both are the quite opposite in this reaction. So in here only antigens presented, here only antibodies. Here antibodies are the higher amount, here antibodies are the lower amount. So this is equivalent zone. In this equivalent zone, it clear complete precipitation is formation of the antigen and antibody reactions. So in the post zone, the antigens is the excess amount. This is the post zone. So antigens are the higher amount compared than the antibody. Here precipitation will be minimal. Absent of the some uncombined antigens are presented. Here uncombined antigens are presented. Here uncombined antibodies are presented. Here uncombined antigens are presented. So here excess amount of the antibodies are presented. Here excess amount of the antigens are presented. So this is about the zone of the zone phenomena of the precipitation. So the precipitation. So what is the importance of the precipitation? What is the applications? What is the applications of the precipitation? So the precipitation is involved in the detecting the antigens, and detect the some microorganism protein antigens also, small protein antigens also, detection of the small protein antigens. And the next one, it is involved in the identification of the bacteria, and the next one, identification of the infective tissues, are identified. And the next one, detection of the unknown antibody also. Detection means identification of the unknown and as well as the unknown antibodies also detected. And the next one, involved in the standardization of the toxins, and etc. So this is the importance of the precipitation and flocculation reaction. So the next one we will discuss about them one more antigen antibody reaction, agglutination reaction. So what is the agglutination reaction? Here agglutination means simply combine to form insoluble substances, and aggregation of the number of compounds is known as agglutination. So when particle of antigen is mixed with the antibody, in the presence of, so antigen mixed with the antibody in the presence of NaCl, and maintain the suitable temperature 37 degrees Celsius, and as well as the pH is the 7.4 pH. At the 7.4 pH, the particles are the antigen antibody particles are the The antigen mixed with the antibody in the presence of NaCl, suitable temperature and pH. These particles are the clumped or agglutinated. This formation the clumped or agglutinated. So formation. So is known as the agglutination reaction. Clump means number of compounds combined to form a one clump reaction. So in here two words are there. So in this clumped reaction, agglutination reaction, antigen taking part of agglutination reaction is known as the agglutinogen. So agglutinogen means antigen takes part of the agglutination is known as the agglutinogen. In case of antibodies that taking part of the agglutination is known as the agglutin. Is known as a agglutin. So the agglutin is then the agglutination reaction is the reaction is the more sensitive compared than the precipitation reaction. More sensitive compared than the precipitation reaction for the detection of the antibody. So agglutination is a more sensitive compared than the precipitation for the detection of the antibody is known as the agglutination. So in here incomplete or monovalent antibodies do not cause the agglutination. So here write the star mark point. So in here incomplete or monovalent antibodies do not cause the agglutination. So in precipitation reaction, all antibodies to form the precipitation. In case of excess amount of the antigens are presented or lower amount of the antigens are presented in this test tube, it compulsory formation the precipitation. But here there is no chance. And the next one, types of the agglutination reactions. Types of the agglutination reaction. So one is a slide agglutination. Slide agglutination test. What is the slide agglutination test? Here, a smooth and uniform suspension of the particle antigen is spread on the drop of the saline on a glass slide. So first of all, we will take the glass slide. So smooth uniform suspension particle of antigen prepared in a drop of saline. So here antigen and saline, these both are combined to form one suspension. That suspension particle is placed on the glass slide. This name is the antigen suspension. So the next one we are added a drop appropriate anti-serum is added to the above glass slide are mixed. So in here what happened? Up to here we know that this is the antigen. So a clumping together particles and clearing of the drop with a few seconds indicates the positive reaction. Means in case of clumping formation of the anti-serum and as well as the antigen, clumping formation, that is the positive reaction. In case of there is no clumping, no clumping, is known as the negative reaction. So depends upon the positive and negative reaction. What is the uses? What is the use? So identification of the bacteria, and as well as the determination of the blood grouping and cross matching occur with this particular slide agglutination test. So the next one is a tube agglutination test. Tube agglutination test. The tube agglutination test means here, so take a one test tube. Take a one test tube. In a fixed volume of the particulate, suspension is added to equal volumes of serial dilution of the anti-serum in a test tube. So first of all, up to here we take the suspension means antigen here, antigen in here. So and equal value, how much of value? For example, 3 ml of 3 ml of the antigen and added the one more 3 ml of the anti-serum. Anti-serum added to this reaction. Serum added to this reaction. So then after going to the serial dilution. Serial dilution means number of one sample is replaced with the water sample replaced with the antigen anti-serum reactions. Serial dilution. Number of dilutions occurs in this test tube, in this particular test tube. So in a highest dilution of the serum that produce the visible clumping is taking the antibody titrate. Number of dilutions after number of dilutions. Dilutions means simply in here test tube 6 ml of sample. So in 6 ml of sample, take 1 ml of sample from here, 1 ml of sample from here, added to the 5 ml of water, 5 ml of water and 1 ml of sample here. Total is the 6 ml. So the next one test tube. The next one test tube will also contain the 5 ml of water here, 1 ml of sample, or number of dilution, serial dilution. Now after number of dilutions, so it highest dilution after the dilutions, it produces the visible clumping. Produce the visible clumping. Visible clumping is occur. So taking the antibody titrate. So take the antibody titrate. So what is the use of this test? So it is the determination of the Widal test. Widal test means typhoid fever. Determination of the typhoid fever. And the next one and etc is determined by with the using of the tube test. So this is about the agglutination reaction. The agglutination reaction is involved in the involved in the different types of determination tests are determined. And the next one is a complement fixation test. Complement fixation test number 3 is the complement fixation test. So complement fixation test means in here, what is the complement fixation test? So complement fixation test means a group of protein presented in the serum. A complement is a group of protein. So complement is a group of protein presented in the serum. Group, a complement of a protein presented in the serum. So the binding of the complement antigen and antibody complex. So here binding of complement to an antigen antibody complex. Antigen and antibody complex is formation. So is known as a complement fixation. So in here a group of proteins are presented in the serum. So in the serum containing the antigen and antibodies are presented. The protein is act as a antigen. The serum already containing the antibody. These both are combined to form a one complex. This reaction is known as a complexation reaction. So what is it is a very sensitive test to detect the very small amount of the antibodies. So this complex fixation test is a detection of the very small. It is a very small antibodies are detected. So it is a very sensitive test compared than the previous tests. So what is the method of the complement fixation test? So the patient serum is heated in heat. So first of all, take a patient serum, in a test tube, in a test tube. So the test tube is heated at the 56 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. So in here, to inactive the complement is presented after heating inactive of the complements. The next one, if the serum is a serial diluted and added the known amount of the specific antigen. So these are the serum. Take the serum, done the serial dilutions, number of dilutions, and added the known amount, and add the known amount of antigen, specific antigen, and the next one, guinea pig complement. Guinea pig, it's the animal. Guinea pig complement is added to the known antigen. So then this one is the incubated at the 37 degrees Celsius. Incubate at 37 degrees Celsius for 1 hour. Why? The incubation period is the developments of the antigen and as well as the guinea pig complement is both are the well developed at the 37 degrees Celsius in the incubation. So this is the incubated period. After incubation, so the antibodies are presented in the patient serum. So in case of if antibodies are presented in the serum, which serum? Patient serum. So they react with the antigen. So the antibody react with the antigen. In case of this patient serum containing the antibodies, so it react with the antigen. Sorry, ma'am. Before we discuss about. So right here one more point, ma'am. Sorry. So incubate the 37 degrees Celsius. So the above mixture added the sheep RBC to the sheep RBC. The sheep RBCs act as a antibodies. So this one is also incubated at the 37 degrees Celsius for 1 hour. So first one, antigens are added to the serum. Incubation at the 37 degrees Celsius for 1 hour. Then after add the sheep RBC. Sheep blood is added to this particular test tube and placed at the incubation. So for the 37 degree for 1 hour at the 37 degrees Celsius and well develop the antibodies and antigens. In case of if antibodies are presented in the serum, it reacted with the antigen. To form the antibody and antigen complex. Which complex? Antigen and antibody complex are formation. So the complex antibody antigen complex that fix the complement. In here, no free complement available lysis of the RBC sheep. So here no lysis of RBC of sheep. And the next one, this is the positive test. It indicates the positive test. So in case of there is no chance for the lysis of the RBC is known as a positive test. In case of lysis of the RBC means splitting of the RBC, it indicates the negative test. So negative test indicates means, so here there is no antibodies are presented in the human serum. Positive test indicates the presence of the antibodies in the human serum. So, and what is the importance of the complement fixation test? The complement fixation test is involved in the diagnosis of the bacterial, virus, and fungal infections. So uses. So it is determination and diagnosis of the bacterial, viral, parasitic, and fungal infections. So this is about the complex fixation test. And the next we will discuss about the ELISA. So ELISA means enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. So now we will discuss about the ELISA. This is about the agglutination reaction. So if you have any doubts from this topic, tomorrow we will discuss. Thank you.